all the same sell job. So much for idealism, once the heart of politics.
The Commonwealth and the states and territories have agreed on a uniform and much tougher approach to gun laws.
Mr Speaker, it is the government's view that Australia's head of state should be an Australian.
It's been replaced by realism and managed accordingly.
Thousands of demonstrators were expected at the conference, sponsored by America's Forbes magazine.
They don't do this in New York, do they?
Deemed a medium-risk security threat, world CEOs are being guarded by a huge police operation.
100 or so police on foot, and that was several hours ago. Since then, there's been many more that have turned up.
What we need to see is a change of the defining idea to sustainability or sustainable development, where economic growth isn't the overriding priority. This would embody what some sociologists are talking about as a new form of individualism, an altruistic cooperative individualism, which produces a deep democracy where our role as citizens is reflected in pretty much every choice we make in our lives, and that leads then to stronger communities, families and better well-being.
In 1988, the new Parliament House was opened and dedicated to us. A grand house on the hill, which we could access in a very Australian way. Today, circumstances have changed again. The barriers are going up around the House of the People. We seem to have less control over Canberra, and they seem to know it. We go to the polls, but we're not properly informed anymore, thanks to our Western treadmill lifestyles, spin merchants, and a two-bob media. Information is highly manipulated, and dissent is not allowed. Bread and circuses.
In the end, this place, this chamber, along with the Senate, is the ultimate guarantor of democracy and the sort of way of life that we believe in.
But do we believe in organised politics that offers democracy for sale? What is leadership if it's not honest, open and inspiring? We're a rich, diverse and quite excellent country. We deserve a rich, diverse and clear democracy, led by excellent people with ideas and responsibilities. Not a busload of suburban accountants.
Liberals used to, smaller Liberals that is, used to believe that as it were, one of the most precious aspects of a democracy was the contention of ideas. And it's a John Stuart Mill idea that in the end, as it were, good public policy and sound government emerges from the healthy contention of ideas and a kind of respect for ideas even when one disagrees with them, then you'd have to say that our democracy is, I think, becoming increasingly unhealthy.
We're not allowed to have a debate on second reading. We're going to gag the committee process. We're going to gag...
It's a peculiar thing because in some ways, you know, everyone knows that at the moment at least the material prosperity of the place has never been greater, and that's a wonderful thing. You know, it's a sort of dream of socialists once that ordinary people would lead a basically decent life. Not always, but to some extent that's now true. But on the other hand, the other part of the dream, which is that we'll work towards a better society through the cut and thrust of debate and through the respect for debate, I think is diminishing and has diminished pretty rapidly over the last maybe 20 years.
Politics is a manipulative science that needs our understanding and control. After all, it's our country. But we're losing it because erosion is all around us. Less time to think and no time to make a difference to our decadent democracy.
Rebellion from below is the only way the system will change.
Good God, what? Anarchy? Revolution?
Well, rebellions can be fairly peaceful to start with, and as the problems get worse, the rebellions have to be worse to fix them. But I think a political rebellion from below by the electors is the only way to fix the problems that we have at the moment.
Or at least a decent education.
Education's really struggling. It's a funny thing that in Australia we claim that we value young people and we talk very beautifully about that, but we show our contempt for them by the amount of money that we allocate to their education, for example, by the way that we structure schools. There is evidence everywhere we look of just how little we value children. And so we talk the talk but don't walk the walk.